So it's kind of interesting, you say all this, and maybe you can summarize a little bit in your opinion, what should technologists like ourselves be prepared for, moving forward based on what we've just laid out in terms of what AI is going to do for to our industry.
I mean, there's two ways you've got your half cup, your half full and your half empty approach to it. Your half empty approach, you need a backup plan. That really is what it is. You better have a side hustle, a side gig, because there may be a day you're on UBI. That's the reality. You may not have a seat at the table.
Yeah.
For everyone else, again, it goes back to being that athlete. How do you get picked for the starting team?
Yeah.
How do you get picked first in dodgeball? You've got to be good at it. That's the only answer. It is. We hear about the rat race, but it really is like that. It's if you're not willing to put in 5 more hours than the guy next to you,
Yeah.
to study on this. If you, I tell people all the time, if you're going home and playing with your kids every day of the week and you're not studying technology, learning something around this, there is a guy who is. There's someone that's hungrier at the table every time. So you always have to remember that. That is that capitalist spirit, that American, that drive forward, man. It's really what it is. It's our nation was built on competition, and that hasn't changed even in technology. I grew up in a golden era of technology to where, I went through the 2008 recession. I was like, what recession? What are you talking about, man? Just looks like a bunch of cheap houses for me to buy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Good deals were all over the place. I went through COVID and all of that. I worked in the airline industry during COVID where everything was terrible. But for me, it was just a 6-month vacation. It was literally 6 months off of not having to do anything, no project work, that kind of thing. I thought that would have been a great thing in my career. I was like, oh man, I always want to take a 6-month vacation. Even I get bored. Even I get bored pretty quick. That's what I learned. I will never be able to retire. So I don't have to find something else to do if it doesn't work out for me. I'm not an idle hands guy in that sense.